It's Tuesday, and that means it's time now for our weekly Hot Jobs Report, brought to you by Workforce Solutions of the Coastal Bend. First up on the list in Corpus Christi is an opening for an apartment maintenance supervisor. 1 year prior experience and a high school diploma is required. Pay between $14 to $16 an hour. Also in Corpus Christi, a spot is open for a converting machine load operator. You must have a high school diploma or GED. Pay is $14.50 an hour. In Ingleside, an assistant police chief is needed. 2 years prior experience, a high school diploma or GED, a Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, and a Master Peace Officer license is required upon hire. Also in Ingleside, looking for a school resource officer. Pay starts at $22 an hour. Last on tonight's list, a director of Parks and Recreation is needed in Corpus Christi. 10 years prior work. That includes 5 years in a supervisory capacity, as well as a bachelor's degree with a concentration in parks administration, recreation, or closely related field is required. To learn more about these jobs and several others, contact Workforce Solutions of the Coastal Bend.